All right. Speaking of quarterback uncertainty, Deshaun Watson still wants a trade, but he did report to camp on Sunday, maybe because he doesn't want to be fined $50,000 a day for missing camp. Anyway, the Texans are reportedly willing to get a deal done, but for now, Watson remains in Houston. They even went out, got a new weapon for their offense, acquiring wide receiver Anthony Miller from the Bears. Let's assume Watson stays put in Houston. What kind of fantasy potential could Anthony Miller have with them, Kenny?
Well, look, I think that Anthony Miller is a guy that's really not even showing up in the ADP. So if you could maybe snag him late, look, he's a guy that has a lot of talent. A lot of people were excited about him with the Chicago Bears. Never really got the ball. Like a lot of people, name one Ridley, that didn't get the ball in Chicago from Mitch Trubisky. I think that there's an opportunity here for him in Houston. We saw what Deshaun Watson was able to do with Will Fuller, but we know, I think, pretty sure that Deshaun Watson won't play all of the games. So I don't know if I can really pony up again a high draft slot, but this is a guy that you could probably get in the last round of your fantasy draft, if not on the waiver wire before week 1. And I think it's worth a little stash play here because Anthony Miller could really grow into one of the top options on an offense that was, the defense was really bad for the Texans last year. The offense was okay. So Deshaun Watson threw for a lot of yards, so it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, it could also happen that Tyrod Taylor is his quarterback here, Geoff. So how much of a difference would that make too?
Pretty big difference, yeah. I mean, look, there's not a big depth chart for Anthony Miller to climb here. You got Brandon Cooks, and you've got the dusty old Randall Cobb, Kiki Kute, Andre Roberts, who was like a kick returner his entire career. So the Texans are just acquiring all these misfit toys, so to speak. Anthony Miller probably is the best of all these guys, which is not saying much. If everything works out, Deshaun Watson gets cleared to play. He says, I'm fine, I'll play here for a year, and he gets connected with Anthony Miller. Kenny's right. You can get this guy for nothing. I don't really think that you need to worry too much about this situation because I don't think that all these things are going to work together. And even if he does get to play with Deshaun Watson, Anthony Miller has never showed us that he's a consistent player. He might not even be able to beat out Randall Cobb at this point. So I'm not really big into this situation, but keep an eye on it. Like Kenny said, if you're in a 14 league team or 14 league draft, maybe take him at the end. There's worse guys you can gamble on.
He's got some vertical potential, according to people who know about football, way more than me, Reid Fowler. But Geoff makes a good point. It's going to be battling Kuti, Cobb for that slot wide receiver position.
No. This is more uncertain. And I get, look, last round flyer, it's not much risk, but this is more uncertain than the Green Bay situation. I know it's apples and oranges, but why even waste? I'd rather take, a quarterback that you potentially don't want. It could pan out for the first few weeks. I'd rather stream, a tight end, get OJ Howard, for instance, with my last pick overall, as opposed to a guy like Anthony Miller, who's going on an offense. And like Kenny was mentioning, an offense that I don't think was that good last year. So I'm out. I get why it's nice. And look, he was a third guy behind Graham and Robinson in red zone targets and red zone production in Chicago. And he's a great talent, but I'm out on him.